Hi everyone, Simply Betta here. Today I'm doing a fish room update. I want to show you guys how my fish room's been evolving a little bit as I get things the way I want them to be. I spawned my giants recently, so I thought that would make kind of a cool story. I got a little bit of footage. And also, I saw the eclipse, the total eclipse, and it was awesome. And I have some cool footage of that too. So here's my fish room update. We are going to be looking at the eclipse this year. So I'm lucky enough to live in a town that's pretty much on the direct path of the eclipse this year. So I'm super excited for this. My glasses on. How do I look? Sup? How you doing? Whoa. The lighting's so weird now. Jar a lot of juveniles recently. This whole rack is mason jars filled with little babies, little teenagers really, that I've had to separate because they were starting to get aggressive. So currently their homes are in these mason jars. And then I have some down here. I'm not super happy with the mason jar setup, especially as the juveniles grow. I need something with a little more space. Plus, mason jars are heavy. If I were to ever drop one, it would shatter all over the place. I am thinking about doing it the Thai way and basically using 2-liter soda bottles to house my juveniles. The mason jars work great for the smaller fish, but I just want something a little different and a little larger, but with the same footprint. Like this tiny little black guy is totally fine in a mason jar. And these juveniles are big enough to where I would really like them in a bigger container. Like I said, the 2-liter bottles, I'm going to have to go find myself a source of them. Do keep in mind that I change the water for these juveniles every day. I've had 2 Cambodian spawns that have recently started to grow up, and I've had to start separating out the males as I find them. So that's why I have a bunch of these beautiful, light-bodied Cambodian type fish. I mark their jars or containers with a piece of tape that have their spawn number on them so I can keep track of who's who. I was thinking about using these really big jars, but they're really heavy and I don't really like it. I mean, they look nice and they're clean looking, and I don't think that the 2-liter bottles would look as nice, but they'd just be better. They'd be better for my usage. After all, that's what a lot of breeders around the world use. These fish are over here because they are going to the pet store tomorrow. I have 2 cellophane half moons, a male and a female, with blue eyes, and the pet store wanted them. So that's where they're going. And then I also have this little white female. This is how I do all my water changes. I use a trash can, which I fill with water, I age, and I also heat to the right temperature so I can just fill the jars, no problem. Okay, now we're continuing on. Over in this little nook here, there are some different things than usual. I still have my black soldier fly colony up on the top along with my live foods. I have my vinegar eels. Do not eat, you know, just in case someone were to maybe think about using this on their salad. I also have my micro worms right here, and I have my banana worms, courtesy of Big City Bettas. Thank you, Big City Bettas. There are my giants right now. Nothing special. I spawned my giant bettas recently, and I had partial success. I got some footage of it and what happened and the troubles I was having with it. So here's that footage. It's really messy and shaky and not that good, but I thought it'd be interesting to see. These two fish are spawning. These are my two giant bettas. They're really beautiful fish. I've been excited to spawn them for a while now, but I've been having a bit of a problem. Every time the female releases her eggs, the male immediately eats them, or she immediately goes down and eats all of them. And I've been watching them carefully. He's not just holding the eggs in his mouth, he's actually swallowing them and then just going about his business. And this is a problem. So what I've been doing is I've been doing water changes here in the fish room, and I've been keeping an eye on this pair. And every time out of the corner of my eye I notice them start wrapping, I immediately go grab the trusty turkey baster. And when the female's been releasing her eggs, if I spot it, I've just been poking this in and sucking them up off the bottom before the male can go eat them. And I've been transferring them to a cup. Why am I going through all this trouble? Because I really want fry from this pair. This male right here has a proven track record of being a really good daddy. He's a normal size, he's not a giant, he's a dark-bodied half moon. And his fins are a little ripped up right now from spawning. That's no big deal, they'll grow back. That's normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the eggs from the giant spawn of mine that's happening and try to trick him into putting them into his nest. Now this isn't the best view. The tank that he's in is a Rubbermaid bin. I use them for spawning. And it's not nearly as clear of a shot as just using glass tanks, but I will try my best and we'll see what happens. But I'm putting the turkey baster in with the eggs, and we'll see what he does with them. Oh, there we go. He found the enormous pile of eggs. There we go. That's my boy. You put those eggs in. Oh, what a good dad. I love this Betta. He's my favorite. He's such a good dad. Foster dad, too. There's so many. Poor guy. I feel bad. He's panicking. He's in an absolute panic right now. Oh, what a good dad. Here are the last of the eggs, and I'm so proud of this male right now. Especially if this all turns out, like hopefully those eggs are fertilized, and I'll be raising 2 spawns in 1 tank. Okay guys, that was pretty cool. I'm really happy that my red male took those eggs because I wanted those giants to have a successful spawn so badly. And so I took a lot of eggs out and I gave them to the red male, but then I let them keep spawning and keep the rest of their eggs with the hope that they would stop eating them and that the male would eventually learn to put them in the bubble nest. Because he is a first-time dad, I wanted to give him a chance, which I hope it works out. But if it doesn't work out, if the giant keeps eating his eggs, I know I can fall back on that awesome little red male to take care of his kids for him. That wasn't the highest quality video, but I thought it was pretty neat, so I wanted to share it. So on this shelving unit right here, my LED strips have totally failed on me. Because of those stupid quick clips I tried because I was being lazy. Like, look, those are hardly on. This reminds me I have to buy a soldering kit and I have to do this little project because I want my lights back. But anyways, everyone's doing well in these jars. 1 gallon jars and 2 gallons. They're a little dark, obviously, because my light's not working anymore. And then I have 1 fish in medication over there who's acting suspicious. And these 2 containers here have fry in them. This container has some Betta fry. You can see them a little bit. Let's see if I can get a good picture. It's pretty low light in here, but you can kind of see those little whitish specks. This is going to be a dark body red half moon spawn. The same parents of that huge huge batch of fry I lost in one of my previous videos. I touched on my fry disaster. And then over here in this tub, I have my Pseudomogil Gertrude spawn. I have about 7 little babies from a successful experiment I did with the blue-eyed rainbow fish. They're super cute, and I wanted to give it a shot because I only had 1 female left, and I just wanted to increase my school a little bit. They're hard to see. They're like a month old, and they're still itty-bitty. These little guys are tiny. Now down to the lowest shelf. This is kind of a funny little setup here. This is another little experiment of mine on spawning CPDs, Celestial Pearl Danios. Now, some people say that you should take them out of their tank and separate the sexes. So I have males in here and females in here, and I've been feeding them nice and heavy the past few days. And then I'm going to put them back together, and that's really supposed to jumpstart the spawning process. I have the feeling this isn't a necessary step, but I wanted to give it a shot anyways. So these buckets are just going with some plants in them, and I think tomorrow I'm going to put them in their own tub with some spawning mobs and some Java moss, and I'm going to give breeding them a shot. This plant and tank of mine now has no more fish, unless maybe there's some CPD eggs scattered around in here somewhere. It's good I took the parents out. Maybe it'll give any fry in there a shot at living. I thought it'd be pretty fun to have this just as a snail and shrimp tank. I got my first little shrimpies a while ago, and I really like them, and they're super cute, and I thought they needed their own tank because I like for them to reproduce. I love my little shrimp. I think they're either Sakuras or they're painted reds. I'm not a shrimp expert, maybe someone could tell me. My blackworm colony's doing pretty good. Okay, let's get to the real fun, my new spawns. This plastic tub here is a Half Moon Plakat spawn, 2 metallic royal blues. And I have tons of little tiny babies in there. You can see those little specks. In this plastic container, I have 2 really cool spawns. I have my beautiful dark body red Half Moon male along with one of my best Half Moon females, a copper female. So I cannot wait to see the fry. Oh my goodness, they're going to be beautiful. And then I also have the eggs that I stole from that one copper giant. I think a bunch of the babies hatched and are safe in here, but time will tell just how many I got. So that's it. This was just a quick update, guys. I thought people would find it interesting. Be sure to like and subscribe and have a great day.